Hey guys, Silent here. I just completed the Tomb Raider reboot, so it is of course time for a retrospective. Now, I've got to start this off by saying that I was never a fan of the original series. I remember being a teenager, one of my friends brought over his PlayStation, because I was the N64 guy. He brought over his PlayStation, brought over Tomb Raider, and the game just really didn't impress me. But he loved it purely because of the rumours that you could get Lara Croft naked. And the game itself never appealed to me back then. But I came into it now with the PC version not expecting a great deal. And the game, from that perspective, just blew me away. It was a lot better rounded off than I had anticipated. I kind of came in wanting a game where I could kind of just go around shooting, firing off a couple of bows. That's what I wanted, that's what I got. And really, I had a great deal of fun doing it. Now, the plot isn't the most tightly written. We've got Lara and best friend Sam on a chartered voyage, exploring with a TV presenter, archaeologist type guy who comes across as being a pompous arse. But they're exploring for this ancient Japanese island of legend wherein the Storm Queen resided. And Lara's friend Sam is meant to be a descendant of this Storm Queen. Now it turns out that that's actually completely true, and the Storm Queen is a vengeful spirit who's stopping people leaving the island. Long story short, there's a mad cult that thinks that Sam is the key to getting off the island, and they just try to screw everything up. Lara, of course, has to go in, rescue everybody. Same old, same old. Well, it's not really the same old, it's like the start of a brand new journey. It is essentially Lara Croft, adventurer being forged in fire. And that's what we really walk away with. And that is kind of one of the weaker points, because we've got Lara starting off as a complete innocent, oh, I've got to kill a deer just to learn to survive, I don't want to do this, oh, so cool. And then by the time you actually get into combat with people, she's like, right, yep, just slaughtering everyone. It's got no real kind of build up from innocent Lara Croft to death machine Lara Croft. And that just, it's a little bit weak. I guess that depends on how you play, but it's not like the game gives you much option. You can't go around knocking everybody out. I mean, I must have killed hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of people across the game. And by the point that you start killing people, it just doesn't faze Lara anymore. She doesn't moan over it, she doesn't cry over it, she doesn't try to get around without killing people. There's no bonus to trying to be sneaky. Then you've got this kind of crafting element into a RPG element. Essentially, Lara learns things as she goes along. I say she learns things, she gets a level, she gets a skill point, you can put that skill point into anything. She doesn't learn to recover her arrows until you put a skill point into it. That's like the first thing you learn when you come to archery. Go pick up your damn arrows. That's the entire reason why I took the bow as the primary weapon. Because I wanted to pick up the arrows to carry on. I had to skill that, which was slightly annoying, but came home. And yeah, after that, you've got your crafting element. You go from like scavenged weapons and a hand-built bow to having like a compound bow, explosive rounds. How the hell did Lara do that with just scrap that she's picked up off the island? It doesn't really make sense. But what can you do about that? That's just kind of, I would have preferred that they ditch the RPG element and just kind of have weapon upgrades something that you find throughout the island. Make that something that to give you reason to explore, maybe reason to go back, rather than just be like, they've got these collectibles and they've got hidden things in every level, such as what would you call it? They've got like icons of the cult that they just hide. They've got, I think, bone wind chime type things in some of the forest levels that you've got to track down. In others, you've got banners that you've got to destroy. And yeah, that's all well and good, but I would have liked it if, instead of being able to craft a super shotgun from nothing, you found it. It just would have, I don't know, would have made it better for me personally. I didn't gel 100% with the RPG element, that's all I'm saying. Then we've got one thing that really took me out of the game is that you don't just get free reign over Lara. You get aspects where she just walks along, and it's forced to walk. You're not able to crawl, you're not able to run, and it just really feels harsh. It takes you out of the moment. It takes me out of the moment, at least. I'll just be running along, suddenly I'll be in a bit where the game decides, no, you have to walk here. And instead of being able to run along as I was 30 seconds ago, Lara just stops and suddenly it feels like you're going at a snail's pace. And there's nothing you can do about it. And that just really irritated me, and it certainly caught my attention when, during one of these forced sections, Lara just starts looking off to the side, and there's no reason why she should be looking off to the side. So I'm just like, okay, there's something there? There's nothing highlighting, it's literally a wall. Why is she just looking at this piece of wall as I'm walking past? I just chalked it up to a bug and left it, because there was nothing I could do about that. But it was just really highlighted my irritation. It took me out of the moment of trying to get in and out of this area, because she was focused on something as I'm walking past. So I stopped, I tried to explore, there's nothing to explore. It was a wall, a solid stone wall. But oh, couple more things that did kind of not work for me is throughout the entire game, Lara's finding these notes and journal entries telling us the history of the island. That's fine. Telling us about Matthias, the bad guy. He's deranged, he's a lunatic, and repeatedly throughout the game she's within a couple of meters of the guy, got an arrow trained on him, but she doesn't kill him. And if only she had... It's one of those tropes about not killing the bad guy when you have the chance, and she just pulls that off so many times, whereas everyone else throughout the game, she's got no hesitation. But the big bad guy's like, oh no, can't put an arrow in his head. Come on, Lara. Grow up, you can do this. He's the guy who's stopping you from doing anything. Then of course we've got the entire game being set on an island. It's kind of linear, but gives you the feeling of free roam. You've got these secret, well, not really secret, but you've got like tunnels through caves and things, and they always lead you exactly where you need to be. It's very convenient most of the time. It's like, oh yeah, I'm just going through this wolf cave. Oh, look, I'm exactly where I needed to be. Especially later on, you're trying to get into this temple, and there's a huge storm stopping you from going direct. You can't go direct. Like bridges are being destroyed and things, and you know, you're having to go through, like, climb rocks and jump across chasms, and the path is just literally opening up in front of you. There's a bit where lightning strike knocks a bit of the rock face off, and it's now a rock that you can climb up. That is literally just the hand of fate delivering to you the path. And when that happened, I just thought to myself, is this the Sun Queen, Himiko? Is this her, like, spirit opening up a path for me because Lara is a better choice for the new vessel than Sam, her friend? But no, I got there and it's like, nope, that was just all purely coincidental. And that actually bugged the hell out of me, because it would have been a great ending if you get there and the Sun Queen Himiko tries to take over you and your friend Sam has to protect you. Throughout the entire thing, Lara's been balls to the wall, kicking ass, and then at the end, this Sun Queen's like, yep, she's a better choice, she is a fierce warrior, I will take her, and then your weak-ass friend has to save you. That would have been a great ending to me, but no, your friend who's coincidentally just related to the Sun Queen somehow ends up, like, mid-transfusion, and then Lara just weak boss battle, bam, done. And speaking of boss battles, you got this Oni guy, this demon. He's literally like an undead warrior, because the Storm Queen, I keep calling her Sun Queen. The Storm Queen has these like undead samurai on the island for some reason, and they all have bullets on them, like just in their pockets, which is strange. But this Oni guy, he's been killing the cultists on the island for as long as they've been there. They fear this guy because he is a demon. And he's covered in armour, but only on the front. And you'd think at some point they would have tried shooting him in the back. These guys aren't honourable soldiers. They will literally just, like, surround you and shoot into you. So I would have thought that at least at some point one of them would have been like, hey, he seems staggering when I shoot him in the back. Let's do that. But no, apparently that's too much thinking for them, I guess. But oh well. And the final fight was just over so quickly, it just really did leave me disappointed. But as I say, I did enjoy the game, and despite what might seem like a lot of complaints, it was fun. It was just like those odd niggles that really kind of irritated me throughout parts of it. But despite all of those, it was a fun game. And if you think that you can handle that, then you're going to have just as much fun as I did. Ultimately, it's not a game that I'd go back and play through again to collect all of the extras. It was nice having so many extras and you could find some of them quite easily, but I had fun playing through it. I wouldn't go back. It's not a game that really grabbed me enough to do that. And in the end, I enjoyed the game, and I would heartily recommend it to anyone who wanted that style of gameplay. If they just removed the RPG elements, it would get a firm score from me. Not that I'm scoring things, but you know what I mean. But anyway, I've been Silent, you've been the audience, this has been Tomb Raider, and I'll see you next time.